The best therapy, okay, is productivity. Because the body needs to be in motion. The mind needs to be engaged, not engaged in Alfred Hitchcock, not engaged in horror movies, not engaged in too much gossip or slander, engaged in something that is useful, productive, and meaningful in your life. You define it. Pushing forward in life and not getting stuck in memories from the past, in failures, and in our own prison of disappointment, whether we disappointed ourselves, someone else disappointed us. How do you move forward through the good and bad days, and how do you make the most of each day? There's no grand answer. The answer is to wake up, start doing things, have breakfast, do a task, and start moving. How do you get through the bad days? Don't get stuck in the past and don't sit in your bed. Sitting idly and trying to outthink depression, trying to outthink disappointment, trying to outthink your mistakes serves no purpose. There is a scripture that says, can worry add a single moment to your life? No, worry subtracts from your life. So it's like, certainly you don't want to be a psychopath where you don't have any remorse and any reflection on past mistakes or failures, whatever. But certainly you don't want to then waste your life replaying the past. You have to let go at a certain point. You have to get out of the bed, throw those covers off you, okay? Bury the past, okay? And don't visit the tombstone. Why? As long as you're here, you have to go forward. If you're still breathing to live the past, then to me, there is no meaning of life. I mean, I think you're going to struggle in life just like they did in the Bible to find a meaning to anything anyway. But the only good thing that you can say is that by getting up, number one. Number two, by doing stuff, at least you're being useful, productive, and doing something. And as you do stuff, you figure out what the next step is. You figure out what you could do to improve your life and to improve others' lives. But I don't believe you're going to figure out what to do by sitting there in your deep, dark thoughts. I don't. Start doing productive, positive things. Even if you made a mistake yesterday or you're thinking about whatever day, you got to get up and get moving, okay? Now, again, I know there's some people out there, you maybe got a physical or mental disability, you can't do much moving. Do whatever you can, okay? That's the bottom line. I mean, this is what I say to myself every morning. You can't go backwards. You can't change the past. You can't dig someone out of the grave. So you have to accept what you can't change. You have to accept what you can't change. And if you can't accept it, at least start doing stuff. How do you put bad days behind you? How do you get through the good and bad days? You keep moving. Life is movement. Time is like a river. You can't touch the same spot twice. 1,000,000 mistakes or one mistake can paralyze you in a psychological state where you are trying to play a tennis match with yourself. You're trying to be your own therapist, and you're basically being a bad therapist because you're sitting there not doing anything. The best therapy, okay, is productivity. Because the body needs to be in motion. The mind needs to be engaged, not engaged in Alfred Hitchcock, not engaged in horror movies, not engaged in too much gossip or slander, engaged in something that is useful, productive, and meaningful in your life. You define it. But I don't think it means that you got to watch another horror movie. Okay? I damn sure don't think that. I heard that this morning. A psychopath was looking for something to do. They said, I'm going to watch another horror movie. I said, a fucking waste of time. But that's my opinion. Okay? It matters. It matters to me. Okay, this is how I get myself worked up. I had a loving woman, okay, but she struggles with her weight. I'm going to keep it real. Says, Sam, I know, it's a little too intense these past couple videos. I can't watch, but do what you need to do. My mom said the same thing. My mom is 72 years old with diabetes. She could barely move. She didn't have enough intensity to get going. And I don't blame her. I love my mom. I'd rather have an overweight mother than an anal retentant father who's very particular about his weight. But in my mind, how I justify getting worked up is I got to take care of myself. I don't want to have diabetes, obesity, and be dependent on others. Okay, and I don't want to take advice of a sloth. Okay, I used to be a sloth. Now, again, I don't want to take advice of, some guy screaming in his phone either. You do what you got to do. But what I'm saying is I do what I got to do. You do what you got to do. Okay. I don't care how loving someone is. I know a loving guy. He has no job. He goes on live every night on YouTube. But he's not productive. He's lazy as fuck. He ain't doing shit. Broke as hell, trying to live off $500 a month. That's not inspiring to me. Nice guy. He may go to heaven, okay? But guys, I want to do shit, I want to get shit done, okay, for myself. How do you get through the bad days? This is how you got to get worked up. You're still sitting there rolling around, looking at me with a crust booger in your eye. How do you get through the bad day? Well, I think you should get up, number one, okay? Okay? Before the sun goes down. Just start there. Number two is you got to let go of the past, okay? You gotta let go of the past. Now, I know there's some of you psychopaths, you did some crazy shit, but we gotta let go. And you gotta deactivate some of these fake accounts, guys. Guys, you gotta narrow the mind's focus, okay? Because if you keep participating in the past, okay, you're gonna keep getting the same result. Change things up a little bit. Stay true to what you need to do to motivate yourself to the next step. As you do the next step after that will be revealed to you. A body in motion stays in motion. A mind engaged stays engaged. Creativity builds on activity. Idle time, devil's playground. Idle time, horror movie. Idle time, disaster. Weed smoking. Alcohol drinking. Food indulging. Depression, anxiety. And then you're looking for someone to give you therapy. Therapy is action. Thought out action. Now, I don't want you to be over emotional. Okay. I don't want you to be over emotional. I want you to have your energy focused, directed. But look, guys, life's not an exact science either. I don't want you to sit there, with your glasses on and your, checklist, like, going down a shopping aisle. I mean, throw some shit around too, paint. But have a list, have a checklist. Never trust a mechanic that doesn't have a checklist. Push forward. All right? That's how you get through the bad days. God bless.